Hello, everybody. Welcome to Having Your Say. I'm Robbie Smith. You are about to see our last show, which is part 4 of our coverage of the 50th year class reunion of Harlan High School. The event was held at the Hyatt Regency Chicago on October 25th, 2014. This 1964 class came to Chicago to celebrate a grand occasion. Part 3 of our coverage ended with Virgil Talton's fondest memories of his years at Harlan. You are about to see all of what Virgil said, as well as hear from others on the program. We will also have brief interviews with Seth McCormick and Dennis Rifkin.
Hello, guys. I'm Virgil. It is so great to be here. 50 years, I never thought that I'd live this long, actually. But we're all here, and everybody just looks great. You guys look fantastic. My most memorable moments, had quite a few. I remember one childhood role model. His name was Mr. Ed Thompson Sr. He was like a mentor in our neighborhood. He once said that, listen guys, one day you're going to look back and you're going to realize that the 4 years that you spent in high school were some of the greatest years of your life. Right. And he was absolutely right about that. 4 years at Harlan High School were some of the greatest years of my life. I carry those years with me all the way up to today. I carry them with a lot of pride. My kids, they wonder sometimes, you know, why do you speak a certain way or why you do things a certain way? And then I look back and I remember this man over here, Mr. Robinson, and a lot of the other instructors that we had. And I say to myself, I'm carrying a lot of what I learned at Harlan High School with me now, and I'm passing it on to my kids. And I did. We had a football team in our senior year that did some amazing things. And you guys probably didn't realize it, and we didn't realize it when we were coming along. Nobody expected that football team to do anything. We all had been practicing for a couple of years together. And finally, things came together in our senior year. And the first 3 games that we played, we won them. And our 4th game, we ran into Bowen High School. Now, we weren't expected to do a whole lot with Bowen High School as well. But we played them and they beat us 14-0. We were coming off the field. I remember coming off the field after a failed pass play. Irmler had been killed. Walter Irmler had been killed. It was like a jailbreak out there. Nobody was blocking the way they should have been blocking. And they swarmed Irmler, and he fell back after trying to throw a pass. Now, this was our fourth game. Now, we had won our first three. And so we were coming off the field. We were just getting beat up real bad. And our coach, Sherman Howard, I guess he decided he was going to try to put something into us and pump us up a little bit. So he said to Irmler, "Irmler, I don't want you to play scared out there. You can't be scared. Get yourself together. Don't be scared." Irmler looked at Mr. Howard. He says, "Coach, I'm not scared. I'm not scared, Coach." He had a fire in his eye that I remember today. He was determined to show that this football team was going to do something this year, and he was going to lead it. And he did. We went and played Dunbar to a tie. Nobody expected us to do anything with Dunbar. We played them to a tie. And we won the rest of our games for that year. We went into the playoffs, and we won that game by almost 41 points. We were on a roll. We finally earned the opportunity to play the school that has beat us down in the middle of the season, Bowen. We had an opportunity to play these guys for the city championship. I'll never forget it. Everybody was so confident. We knew we could win this football game. We went out there and played them to a tie, actually, even though there were some irregularities in the refereeing. Even though there were some irregularities with the refereeing, we played through that. Each team scored 3 touchdowns. Now, the problem was we didn't make any out point afters. They made one of theirs. We lost that game by 1 point. I carry that with me today. You know, sometimes I'll talk to my kids and I'll remind them that I lost a football game in high school by 1 point, which we did, but it was devastating. I mean, we were really hurt that we had lost that football game. We had been working all of this time, and finally things were coming together for us, and we were playing for the city championship in Chicago, Illinois, and lost it by 1 point because we didn't make any point afters, and we had some irregularities by the referee. But we got our retribution. We got our revenge because we had a basketball team. Yeah. We had a basketball team that was led by Ed Squeaky Thompson. Edward. We had a basketball team that went 18-2 that year. 18-2. It was amazing. These guys were amazing. They were shooters. Newsom had a jump shot, a straight up jump shot that would go through the rim anytime he shot it up there. Ed Thompson had a jump shot that behind his head, he shot it like this. And everybody wondered, how can he shoot a shot like that? But it went in. It was a fantastic jump shot. It went in most of the time. It went in. Well, Clarence, yes. Clarence Williams was tough. Clarence. Yeah, I know. But we had a fantastic basketball team that year, and those guys played well, and they, like I said, they had an 18-2 record. They exacted the revenge that we needed. The last game of the season, they played none other than Bowen High School. They played Bowen High School. And that gym was full of people of enthusiasm. As Fats Waller would say, the joint was jumping, the walls were thumping, and the roof was humping.
All right.
Everybody was up, and we were cheering these guys on. We were cheering them so that they could score 100 points on Bowen. And they did. They beat Bowen 102-62. They exacted the revenge that we needed to have in 1964 when we lost to Bowen for the city championship. A lot of people were really happy that we won that game and scored 100 points. So I have two memories that I'll take with me to my grave. One, Walter Ermler with that look on his face when the coach called him out on the football field, and the leadership that he exhibited in carrying us to a championship game, and watching our basketball team score the kinds of points that they scored and do the kinds of things that they did, and especially that last game of the year in 1964, that year that we graduated, when they beat Bowen 102-62. So what I'd like to do is ask all of the football players and basketball players to stand up, and we'd like to give them a round of applause. Thank you very much, guys, for allowing me to share this with you.
Thank you, Virgil. Thank you very much, Virgil and Dennis and Myra and Anita. And that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, to remember those days and things that were important to us. But we have another remembrance to do right now. It's not as much fun, but it's more important. And that is to recognize those people who are not with us today. And Bernadette, who is one of my committee members, is going to do that. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bernadette Bonnie Jones. I received this email recently, and I thought it was very appropriate, and I just want to share this with you. Imagine that you have won the following prize. Each morning, your bank would deposit $86,400 in your private account for your use. However, this prize has rules. Rule number 1, everything that you didn't spend during each day would be taken away from you. Rule number 2, you may not simply transfer money into some other account. Rule number 3, you may only spend it. Rule number 4, each morning upon awakening, the bank opens your account with another $86,400 for that day. The bank can end the game without warning at any time. It can say, game over. It can close the account and you will not receive a new one. What would you personally do? Would you buy everything and anything you wanted, right? Okay. Not only for yourself, but for all the people you love and care for. Even for people you don't know, because you couldn't possibly spend it all on yourself. Maybe. You would try to spend every penny and use it all because you knew it would be replenished in the morning. Actually, this game is real. Yes, each of us is already a winner of this prize. We just can't seem to see it. The prize is time. Excuse me. Each morning, we awaken to receive 86,400 seconds as a gift of life. And when we go to sleep at night, any remaining time is not credited to us. What we haven't used up that day is forever lost. Yesterday is forever gone. Each morning, the account is refilled, but the bank can dissolve your account at any time without a warning. So, what will you do with your 86,400 seconds? Those seconds are worth so much more than the same amount in dollars. Think about it, and remember to enjoy every second of your life, because time races by so much quicker than you think. Take care of yourself, be happy, love deeply, and enjoy life. Here's wishing you a wonderful and beautiful start. Start spending. Don't complain about growing old. Some people don't get the privilege. Over here to my right, in the far corner, we have two poster boards with the students from January 2004 and June of 2004 who are no longer with us. If we've missed anyone, we are sorry, but these are the only names that we have. Oh, did I? Oh, you know what I meant. I'm a senior citizen. You have to excuse me. I can say whatever I want to now that I'm this old.
Use your 87
Hey,
seconds.
I'm using part of my seconds, okay? All right, so if you have not been able to go look at the board with our classmates that are no longer with us, please do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bernadette. In the center of your book is a list of those people who have passed. And I'd like to get us to just take 2 minutes to read the names in silence, and then we'll commence the program again. Before I bring up Kenneth for closing remarks, I'd just like to say one more time how blessed I feel to have had the opportunity to organize our 50th class reunion. It was my delight to spend this kind of time doing this, and how honored I am to have had the opportunity to interact with each and every one of you, if not with my voice, with my fingers. I want to give an open apology for any words that were misused or misspelled. I'm a very great organizer. I am a terrible typer, and I do not see well.
Great weekend. All right. We have engaged in a weekend of celebration few get a chance to enjoy. It's been great seeing classmates of 1964, their families and guests, especially those of you who taught at Harlan and gave us the tools that landed us where we are today. As we savor this momentous occasion, these moments and memories will last a lifetime. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Reunion Committee for their commitment and dedication in planning this fabulous 50th reunion celebration. We can reflect on reaching these milestones for many years to come. For our honored guests and alumnus, your participation highlights our journey from the past to our present. Again, thank you for soaring high with the Harlan Falcons tonight. The last thing I want to say to everybody is all rise. Let's give the 1964 Harlan graduating class a standing ovation. Give it up. Come on now, let's go. We can do better than that. Give it up. All right. Thank you.
Okay, now tell me why. Tell me why.
Well, when you belong to an alumni association, you're only allowed to do certain things, but as the mayor, you can do anything you want. We have raised money for the band. I have paid for lunches. I was the chairman of the board of CETA, and they donated $1,000. So you're able to work by yourself and alone and do things where you don't have to ask anyone. As the mayor, you're in charge.
I want to know how you got that title.
I appointed myself the mayor because up to the school over the years, I've raised money for the school. I've done volunteer work for the school, but I didn't have a title. So I gave myself the title of mayor of Harlan. We had a past assistant principal, Mr. Thompson, who used to run the lunchroom. So he was in charge, and Mr. Thompson passed, so then I became the mayor of Harlan, and that way I can serve that term for the rest of my life.
Now, did I hear you say earlier that you were at Harlan under 4 different principals?
Yeah, 4 different principals, not while I was in Harlan, but since in the 50 year. And I've noticed that there's been a difference, and I hate to say this on canned TV, but a male principal in a high school is a little bit different because it's hard for those boys to get used to a man telling them what to do, telling them what's right. And a female principal really, they don't have that same rapport with the kids. Mr. Evans brought in an assistant principal that was about 6'6" and 300 pounds. And it made a difference when those students had to look up to him instead of look down to him. It makes a difference. And I know it's wrong to say that, but as a mayor, I've watched 2 women and I've watched 2 men, and there's a little bit of difference between the two. The women principals are very academic, but those male principals keeps order.
Okay, Seth, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Let's go back to 1964. Okay. What kind of person were you then, and tell me the kind of person you are today?
Well, I entered Harlan as a freshman in honors classes. I was a very smart young man, but I also ran my mouth a lot. So the counselors called my mother up to school, I'll never forget it, said, "We don't know what to do with him. He runs his mouth all day long." So they switched me to a business curriculum. So therefore I could make my living speaking. And I left Harlan and went to Columbia, and I studied radio and TV production, and I went in that field. At least I got paid for talking now.
So then what did you get your degree in?
And radio, TV production, both of them.
And what do you do today?
I'm a retired TV producer, and I'm also on V103 with Herb Kent on Sundays. And I'm on internet radio called No One Radio, which goes all over the world.
Now tell me, how would you compare young people, students today in regards to the type of students your class was in 64?
I think the difference basically is that we were breaking ground. It was 1961, and we were in the minority of the race in Harlan. It was more whites than there were blacks, and we had to make sure that we kept up with them. We got the same education as they did, so we could go on to college. That fight is no longer in the kids of today. They're technology minded, and I think that they're not as dedicated to the education as we were, because we knew that we had to have the same education as the other kids, and we were different, but we were all the same.
Okay, why don't you just look into the camera, and if you just visualize seeing a group of young Chicago, especially African-American students, what message would you like to leave to them?
Well, what I leave to them was learn how to read. Reading is the key to everything. You can't work the internet unless you know how to cut it on. Knowledge is through reading, and I would tell them foremost to learn how to read, and you will survive in this world. Let's say everything the white man does, he documents, and he puts it in a book, and he puts it in a university, and he wants you not to go to that university. You have got to learn how to read, get into these universities, and learn how to be a success in life.
What is your name, sir?
Dennis Rifkin.
And tell us something about yourself.
Well, I graduated in June of 1964. Harlan was the best place I could have possibly gone to high school. Met some fabulous teachers, some fabulous students. Was fortunate enough to be on the football team, the first football team that Harlan ever had. We had a wonderful rapport among all the players. I can't imagine going anywhere else. We were very, very fortunate to have been Harlan when it was brand new. And I'm so thankful to be here for the reunion and to meet some wonderful people here.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your journey from 64 to where you are today. What type of work do you do today?
Okay, I graduated from Harlan. Went to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. And when I graduated from there, I came to San Diego, my first duty station. Spent 5 years with the military, a couple years of graduate school, and then spent 23 years with the U.S. Postal Service. Ended up as a branch manager with about 90 employees. And in 2001, I was fortunate enough to be able to retire. San Diego is a wonderful place to live. I've been there 46 years. Can't imagine living anywhere else.
Okay.
And life is good.
Oh, life is good.
Life
Okay, then since it appears to me from the testimonies and just talking to people tonight that the era, the time in 1964,
Right.
that was a wonderful time for students at your school.
True.
Tell me, what do you think made that so in comparison to how school is today?
I was mentioning earlier that I don't remember one instructor from college, but every teacher almost that I had at Harlan. They were the cream of the crop. I think the students were the cream of the crop. We had a lot of pride in the school. We were excited to be there. It was a brand new school. Today, unfortunately, I think, is the kids don't have the respect for their teachers and their instructors that we had. When our instructors would tell us something, I think, I hate to say it, I think we were much better behaved. Our morals, standards, our work ethic was much better than younger people today, unfortunately. That's the way I think about it.
Okay, so given that comment, if you were able to influence young people today,
Right.
look into the camera and tell me what message would you give them?
I would tell them to put their best effort forward. Ethics is very, very important. Honor who you are, honor your parents, but most importantly, be able to look at yourself in the mirror at night and say, I did my best and I did it with honor.
This is our last show on the 50th year class reunion of Harlan High School, but you can see other features on Having Your Say. Our show airs in Chicago on CAN TV, cable channel 19, on Sunday evenings at 7, and it repeats on Monday afternoons at 2. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, I'm Robbie Smith.